SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we've got an update out of Dish, and these indications are actually pretty good, so we're happy about this. For those of you that haven't been following these stories, Dish is the new fourth carrier. They replaced Sprint through the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, and they've been building out a brand new, greenfield 5G network. No LTE, no 4G architecture, starting from the ground up with a 5G network, and they're trying to do what I would say is almost impossible. Reach a nationwide build out to scale with limited capital and a limited amount of time. Of course, all this is on them. No apologies required, no apologists there, but what they're trying to do is very difficult. And I have to say that I think some people have to kind of frame this properly. They are putting in the work with the network, and they have achieved a small miracle as they've hit most, if not all, of the network requirements. Especially up to this point, they've hit their mark. There's just a little bit left to do. I'll cover that here in today's video. Based on the article, I will put a link in the description for it. And of course, if you want to support the SMT, show your appreciation for the content here on the channel, you can support us. Links are in the description as well. All right, so the FCC, dating back to last Friday, has gone ahead and given Dish its blessing that Dish has met band-specific 5G build-out commitments on 2 of its 3 nationwide 5G checkpoints. The first 2 commitments, the first one was the 15,000 5G cell tower sites. And the second thing was having at least 30 megahertz of Dish's downlink 5G spectrum averaged over all of its 5G sites nationwide. So that would be their N71, their 600 megahertz spectrum, which I think nationwide they hold 10 by 10, right? Downlink and uplink paired. And then they have AWS with a 20 megahertz of N66 is typically what we're seeing. I believe some sites in some markets, they're also broadcasting CBRS, right? So they have more spectrum to some markets. They have 700 megahertz, and some markets they've got they've got more bandwidth there, and they do hold millimeter wave, and they have some DoD and stuff, but I'm not sure if any of that is broadcasting yet. But anyways, the last commitment that Dish has to verify is a drive test meeting its 5G requirements. The FCC has basically instructed Dish to provide that drive test, so that's going to be they're probably, I don't know if that means they have to do their own drive test, meaning Dish has to do it, or if they can hire a company like Root Metrics to do it, because that's typically what Root does. I'm not sure if that's verifiable. I don't know. I guess it's worth knowing at some point, but they have 6 months to complete the drive testing and then submit the results to the FCC. And this is supposed to reflect like the actual user experience when connected to the native Dish network on Dish Spectrum. So 70% of the U.S. population has to average download speeds of 35 megabits per second or greater, which in my estimation, based on the number of customers they have on the network, they should be able to do even if they're connected only to N71, right? So they should be good there as long as they can hit that mark. So it's really going to be about pops covered. In June, Dish hit the 70% of the U.S. population covered. I think for the most part, we've seen that has been true. I haven't seen or heard much about a network expansion lately. It's really been focused on retail, and that's been hard to do for them. I know they hired a firm for commercials. I know they finally got the iPhone certification for the network. So there's been some things there to kind of help them along with respect to their business model, and that's helped as well. They've been busier. They've been adding customers. You can get the Boost Infinite service through Amazon. You can get it through their Boost mobile stores as well in certain locations. So there are some things happening, but this is good. Another indication that Dish, has found its way through its network foundation, and they'll continue to try to get more customers and garner that market share and mind share. No easy task, but this is good. Last step, right? You got to get through that FCC drive test. You got to show 35 megabit per second, up to 70% of the pops. Let's see if they get there, folks. They've got a little bit of time to do it. They'll be working on this process over the course of the next year plus, and we'll see if they get there and what else is left for them to do in the retail space. Tell me what you guys think. Sound off in the comment section below. You all the voice of the people. The SMT Nation, let your voice be heard.